Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today, I will be looking at the 4 new issues of Mini KUS. Mini KUS goes along with the KUS anthology that I've reviewed over the last couple of days. And these are longer stories where they give I think they're a 24-page book, and they give that whole book over to an artist to do like an experimental short thing. I really love this format. It introduces a lot of artists who probably haven't had a full-length thing published before, gives them that venue. And then B, it gives people a place to also experiment. Like I've seen ones by pretty established artists where this is a format for them to go do an experiment. I'm sitting here looking at these being like, what could I do in 24 pages to send over to KUS to try and get published? And because I like it, anything I like, I want to go like, I want to do one. So I'm constantly being inspired by these, these, it's almost like mixtape or something. Like you can go just do something way out of your norm, which to me is always appealing. So I really like looking at these for inspiration and seeing, what is going on out there, what's at the avant-garde edge of things. So we'll take a look at all 4 of them because I can go through them pretty short. They tend to come out like almost in seasons. Like this is the fall or winter 24 season, and you get 4 books or whatever of the Mini KUS. So this is by Emily Gleason. This is called Animal Denial. This is a pretty intense and potent argument against eating animals. It's for veganism or vegetarianism at least. And the way it works is the characters are just going through like coming up with all these counter arguments why it's okay to eat meat, and they get shut down. So you see here, so why do we eat meat? Well, it's been just part of what we do since prehistoric times. True, good fact, but and then they give some counterfacts to it. So that's kind of the structure of the book here. I really like the drawings of this poor sucked out cow here. Throughout the book, there's a number of times where the animals in their word balloons, they're using Morse code to say SOS. So that's just a fun little formalism. And I think with those 2 pages, you can kind of get a sense of what the book is, what the style is, and it gives you a sense of like the type of thing that would be going on in these Mini KUS where you have a little experimental 24-page book. Then we have Jan Marie Dower with The Big Spill. A really nice kind of painted approach to this. I like the creamy background on it. This one is about working like at a candy factory with the gummy bears, and you can see the big old like string of the jelly candy there that they're having to cut. So an interesting peek into like a world I would know nothing about. And then a really fun, like halfway through, with this big spill while all these gummy bears spilled out of the truck onto the road. So that's The Big Spill. But you can see this really nice kind of soft, blurry style on this. It almost feels like a lot of the type of risograph stuff I see. It's obviously either digitally or offset printed, but it has that softness that I'm seeing to a lot of art lately that really appeals to me. Then we have Perfect Love by Giovanna Fabi, and I really, really like this one. Usually with the Mini KUSs, there's 1 or 2 that I don't like, and then there's 1 or 2 that I like really, really like, oftentimes so much that I even do like a page-by-page review of them. These ones, I could do that with Sandbox and Perfect Love, but I'm not going to. So Perfect Love, really love the aesthetics of this, where it's like the grid over top of everything. The art kind of has the Ron Reggie Jr. vibe to it with the circles, but I found this work more readable. It's a little easier visually on my eyes than Ron Reggie's stuff. And then basically just like people talking about what makes a perfect lover. And I like that that's with the grid over top of it, where you're kind of being measured and compared at all times. And then even within the artwork, that there's a lot of this repetition and rhythm of the characters in there. So I find this just a very visually stimulating and beautiful book to look at. And then it kind of goes into some stuff like, just some stuff about interpersonal relationships and your own, like, this is all my creation, you will be pleased this time. So talking about like trying to create your perfect love as well, and how you could lock them in too much with all of these rigid systems that you have, I think is a bit what's behind this. So yeah, really interesting thematic book. And then you can get a look at just some of the awesome visuals and doing it in different ways. This grid system playing out in different ways to create different effects, different sense of emotions throughout the book, I think is really pretty sophisticated stuff. And then the final one, this kind of gives you a sense of like how some big name artists are getting involved in this. Yuichi Yokoyama, who's got plenty of books out, is very well regarded avant-garde underground artist, now has like a little 24 page. I don't know if this was something that was done ahead of time that they got the license for, if it was done specifically for this, but this is Yuichi Yokoyama's Sandbox. Got some color pages in it, which is really nice, seeing the work printed in, like here it's printed in magenta instead of the black. And we flip over to the black. Pretty typical Yuichi Yokoyama with a lot of sound effects, a lot of abstraction, but there are still things like happening. There are still characters within it. If you love Yuichi Yokoyama, you're going to have to get this. It's got all the different tone work and all that kind of stuff. But you basically have characters coming in and they're just dealing with the fact that they've been walking through a sandbox. They got their shoes full of sand. Typical kind of like banal story with a very powerful visual payoff, which is what Yuichi Yokoyama is so good at. Then a page printed in cyan. You can see that there's some characters getting named here. So the story is broken up a couple times. And then just this really nice, big, beautiful spread, again, with all of that sense of rhythm and repetition that you get in Yuichi Yokoyama's artwork that makes it the beautiful thing it is. I always say when I'm talking about Yokoyama's work that to me, it's like the distillation of manga. It's the decompression where, you can take like a 3-second thing and spread it out over the whole issue. But then also just like the hyper intensity of manga and the zoom lines and the big effects and all of that. So somehow stretching out a moment, which should feel very static, to have something decompress so much, but then still so full of life and energy and action, that feels to me like taking the two extremes of what manga is and somehow squishing them together and distilling them. That's what, to me, makes Yokoyama Yuichi's stuff so beautiful. So very excited always to get new Yuichi Yokoyama work, and to have that come along with some other awesome books and then these anthologies that I've been reviewing over the last couple of days. You can see why I like what KUS is doing with their company overall, and I really just believe, we got another one in there. I just believe in what this company's doing for the medium. So I hope you all go out, support them, get their work, and enjoy really exposing yourself to a wide variety of what comics can be. And you're not going to like some of them and you're going to love some of them. And I think that's exactly how we should all be treating this.